Well, good evening, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally, and I mean literally, does not work. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. It is, of course, Saturday evening. Tomorrow morning at 9:30 in the morning, we will be having the New York Stinking Giants versus the Green Bay Packers at 9:30, and we're going to start a live stream then. And it's been kind of a strange day here. I've gotten quite a bit done, although it's kind of cool and really windy outside. But it's been a nice day, and we have right now Thomas Garrett, Ezekiel Thomas, and Diggs Boy is still trying to connect. And let me get everybody up in here. Forgive me if I lose attention for a minute or so, because I've been actually waiting for Google support. I've been in the queue for 2 hours where it started out at 87 and I'm down to 3. So when they actually call me up, I got to actually ask them a couple of questions here. Thomas Garrett, how you doing, man?
Yes, sir. I'm doing all right.
Let me ask you, all those Titan fans that are around you and stuff, are they still running their mouth?
Well, as of right now, I'm not saying that they're nervous or anything of that nature. It's quiet. It's quiet. And I think they're waiting to see if the Titans is going to make a move.
Are you saying, wait, are you saying they're being the cockroaches? That, they're waiting for the lights to go off and then come back out and start talking?
Well, yeah, you can say that,
Okay, I'm just checking.
The Titans here, they, whenever they're winning, they're out. They're out and about. They're, yeah, we got it going on. They got that mentality.
Mm-hmm.
But as of right now, they're sitting at 500. Things are quiet here right now. And what I'm thinking that they're going to. I think they're waiting to see how they fare out against Washington tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And when they know that they're above 500, I think they're gonna, come back out of, they're gonna come from under that rock.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, they got Washington tomorrow. That's a get right game, I would think.
Yeah.
Although they did lose to the Giants. So, yeah, that's kind of a big surprise there that Tennessee has been where they are. With us having this game tomorrow, this is one of those ones that it's a no-win situation for us. If we win, they're going to say, oh, well, the Rams were injured. Matthew Stafford has a hurt shoulder and blah, 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 blah. It won't be that the Cowboys got to win against the Super Bowl champions. If we lose, of course, it'll go through where, the Cowboys are asked. Oh, my God, Google support is here. Okay. So I want to ask, actually, Brother Roz. Brother Roz, what's up, man?
Just having computer issues today.
You work for Google?
You work for Google?
Do I work for Google?
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm too opinionated to work for Google.
I noticed everything has been slow on YouTube today because of the situation with Mark has been talking about since this morning about the demonetized.
Well, it's one of those things that I got so many people that hate me. I don't know why I have so many people that do. If you watch the video, it'll make sense. But people will comment and think that a video is about one thing without actually watching it. So the haters came out. So, this morning, when you do YouTube, okay, there's all different kinds of keys and buttons and things. and so on. And so when you upload a video, you have certain steps you have to do. And I'm looking this morning and I'm like, I don't see the monetization button because, I mean, let's be clear. There's the reason why ads are on here so Google can get paid and they pay the creators too. And the reason why I'm able to buy the equipment and do all the stuff I do is because you get paid for it. And so I'm going through and I'm like, did I get demonetized? Did I get shut down? Did I miss something? And so on. And so when I went through YouTube's YouTube down, and I see that this is an issue started out in Greece, hours before me. I did the video so that way people, when they see the video, they click on, oh, okay, it's a problem at YouTube. I didn't get the channel because people are freaking out, literally thinking that their channel has been screwed over.
You had people on there, thank you.
Yeah. And I also have ones that say, good, now you get a real job.
I saw that as well.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, that's why I do that, try and help other people out on that situation. But, in the reality in life is no matter what you do, somebody's going to hate you. And, there really are some people out there that really are cray cray. And,
all you can do is just smile, Mark.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, I'm a clown too. In fact, I'm sure that there's a certain person out there who from now on, I want everybody to not say his name. We'll just say Stan. Okay? If you refer to him or you realize he's in here, just call him Stan. As in from the Eminem video. If you know what I mean. Mm-hmm.
Already. Do it.
Yeah. All right. So, Roz, the Dallas Cowboys versus the Rams. Is there a chance for the Cowboys?
Always a chance.
You're not going to like some of the info I have, but to be honest, at the end of the day, any way the ball bounces.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing some digging. I didn't send you, everything I had out there. We just pull up exactly what I was paying attention to, which was the matchups.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, this is important in the sense of what has happened to this point, not necessarily what will happen this Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But the most important thing is that both the Rams and Dallas are giving up the same amount of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So the difference that we see when we're watching the game is what? Matt Stafford getting sacked all the time.
And throwing interceptions.
Right. So that's the differential between the two as far as the passing game goes.
Okay.
Right? As far as the running game goes, it just doesn't look good for Dallas. The defense has more strength as far as overall performance versus the run.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that may be because, the league as a whole is passing more, but the projection right now has the Rams running more at Dallas.
Okay.
Which would, in a way, benefit your team, right? Because if the scoring is lower, because the game is shorter, because they're running the ball and the clock is moving,
Mm-hmm.
all you need is a couple turnovers, some defensive big plays, and boom, you're on top.
Well, okay. Well, the Cowboys are on the road, technically, although Sean McVay is worried about Dallas having a lot of fans there, and he's talking about using a silent count. I don't know that I've ever heard a home team having to worry about having a silent count before.
Interesting.
Not outside of Seattle prepping to intentionally cause the need for one.
Right.
SoFi, it's not a normal thing. Otherwise, it wouldn't be reported.
All right.
Then again, gamesmanship, you do talk about that, and maybe he's just playing around. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I will tell you this right now. Edwards is back, which is one of their linemen.
Mm-hmm.
But they are down their center. They are down one of their tackles.
Mm-hmm.
Their line has played poorly to this point,
Mm-hmm.
and now two of the pieces that have played better than the replacements are out. So if there was ever a game to win, it would be Sunday.
We're gonna win it. Don't worry. It's a W for the Dallas Cowboys.
What? Anything can happen on any given Sunday. So, I'm not going to guarantee anything. I think we have a good chance. I think our defense can shut them down. But, from week to week, I didn't see the Colts winning against Denver the other night. But, who knows? I mean, didn't they beat Kansas City the week before?
Yep.
I didn't see them beating Kansas City either.
Yes. They beat Kansas City up in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
They've been without.
Oh, Mark, I don't know if any of y'all know this, but today Russell Wilson had a surgical procedure done.
Yep. I've got a video about it. On his shoulder.
He's making excuses. That's what he did.
Thank you. That's what I was like. I was like, oh, it's interesting that,
you don't chuck the ball up and down the field big time, leading the league in big time throws that suck, and then complain your shoulder hurts.
Yeah.
Right.
No, but before the week that started, though, I heard that he had a shoulder, though.
Well, yeah, that's where, when I read the article, I put up a video on it because I was kind of like, kind of interesting after probably the worst game of his career. Now, all of a sudden, we're hearing, oh, he had to get a shoulder procedure. And basically, and of course, they said similar to what Dak Prescott had last year. Oh, man, I got to grab my thing here. Hold on.
Oh, Mark.
Oh, Ross, I got to talk to you, though.
I'm sitting here messing up.
Ross, can we do something with the fantasy? Like, can we do like a video
for fantasy football?
Yeah, something like just like a recap, just like a good video that everyone talks.
I got a great fantasy video, man. Dallas Cowboys going to the Super Bowl.
There you go.
That's my fantasy. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you're talking about actual fantasy football. Okay. Before I get there, let me go to my other fantasy here.
We can host it. I mean, we can.
What's up, Lola? How you doing?
We can always host a show on the Jobu Fantasy.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, but you run it though. You can do something like run the Zoom or something like that.
Talk a little bit.
Oh yeah,
talk more about the fantasy
Zoom,
football. Yeah.
Not an issue. So, all right. Tell you what, I'll send an email out from the league because I'll need everybody either. Well, I'll need an email address for everybody because once we send the email addresses in to start the league,
you don't have
I no
any
longer am able to see them.
Okay.
You can only see your own. So, like, I don't know everybody's email address still from that.
Oh, no worries. Yeah,
league.
I'll send you. Yeah.
I mean, you could do is if somebody sees them, write it all down on a piece of paper, take a picture, and send it to you.
Okay. All right. Let me go back to the Russell Wilson rumor. There you go, game changer. Game changer. As soon as he comes in, it's like I want to hear my rumors. So you always got to take care of the fans. What's going on, Glo Pierre? This is one of those. I'm nervous about every game. Okay, I mean, I look at this and I say, the Rams' offense has been horrific. Matthew Stafford, 4 TDs, 6 interceptions, and I've seen so many interceptions that have been dropped that should have been pick sixes, not even funny on top of it. I look at their defense. Aaron Donald is doing Aaron Donald things, but I don't feel like that defense is as strong as they have been in the past. And I look at, and say, yeah, we've got a bunch of injuries too. We got Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush has done great things, but our offense still is one of the worst offenses in the NFL right now, statistically. Am I right on that, Brother Roz? You're muted.
I'm not sure Well, yeah, no, I know I was muted. I'm not sure what statistics you mean.
Scoring
Cooper Rush
offense.
is
I mean,
average
we're not getting
quarterback.
sacked. Listen, we're not getting sacked. We're not turning over the football. We only have 2 turnovers, which are things that are in your favor. But numbers wise, we're not exactly lighting up the scoreboard.
No. As far as scoring, absolutely not. But as far as metrics and most of the measurables used to rate teams,
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are still in the top half. And honestly, that was one of the things I pulled today was the offense for y'all is, I want to say, in the top 15.
Okay.
Oh,
It's
no.
obviously not Miami, but it's hard to be Miami. I mean,
You're
Eagles,
not,
we
you're
don't
not
have Tyreek
biased,
Hill
are
or anything
you?
like that. It's okay. It's all right.
Rush does have 4 TDs. Or no, 4 TD passes.
Does he have
Rush
more than Russell
is
Wilson?
17. You're 17th overall. Now that is based specifically on total offensive performance compared to what's expected, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you talk about Vegas lines and you talk about projected passing or rushing, et cetera, the statty people,
Mm-hmm.
they expect y'all to be scoring more per play.
Mm-hmm.
Now your rushing is actually 16th, so you're dead middle. The problem is, again, Cooper Rush is an average. He's performing at an average rate.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me say hello to Kathy. What's up, Kathy? Are you saying Cooper Rush is performing average? How dare you? You hate Cooper Rush.
Well,
Cooper Rush is
compared
God.
to Russell Wilson, average is probably pretty good.
Well, or Russell Wilson's bringing the average way down, too.
Well, the curve is down this year.
I was going to say, because it seems like, defense is back or offenses are just ass. But I think that goes back to the lack of practice. We talking about practice here, that they don't really practice much at all.
That was a discussion I wanted to bring up, too. You did a video about not practicing and injuries that we're seeing and such. Mm-hmm. Remember, too, the soft tissue, we're not actually seeing more injuries than we ever have. It's not – there's slight increases at certain points throughout the preseason into the season, but overall it's steady year over year.
Okay.
What we're seeing is more soft tissue injuries, whereas in the past, you've had more
structural ACL tears and stuff.
More skeletal-ish.
Mm-hmm.
The soft tissue injuries can also be attributed to
lack of working out.
Well, the type of conditioning that they do, muscles and speed, like everybody's joked since DK Metcalf came out. We're just waiting for one of his quads to actually snap right off his leg because he's built wrong.
Right.
Like his muscles shouldn't be allowed to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's just the way these guys are building and the way they condition themselves. We are creating it. And that's where what you're talking about has changed. Defenses aren't suddenly better.
Offenses
What's
are just
happening
worse.
is we've shifted to this speed and skinny and small world, which means any team that has big linemen or big defensive players has an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Because the big dude can hit the small dude. If you're not quick enough to get away, you're going to get hit. And when you get hit, you're not big enough to take that hit.
Which, it's funny because there's
I was telling some friends the same thing that Brother Ross was saying.
Mm-hmm.
I told them about when I went to the Dallas-Denver game last year. I told them, I said, man, I don't know how y'all going to take on what I'm ready to say, man, but these NFL players are small, man. They, I remember there was a time when, back in the day, these guys were, you could tell they've been in the weight room, but now.
Oh, I disagree on that one. No, it's actually, I tell you what, I want you to think back to the middle of the 80s when Dave Butts was the first 300-pound guy.
Yeah.
Okay. And that all of a sudden
remember
started
that.
through, where you had, the refrigerator Perry and your Nate Newtons and everything else, where everybody all of a sudden had 300-pound players. And now these guys, muscle-wise, are totally different. And that's part of the reason I think that they are getting tore up with the soft tissue injuries is your skeleton can only hold so much that these muscles are literally
Yeah.
tearing themselves apart, along with the field turf,
Fact.
that you get
That's
such a
fact,
great grip.
because,
But it's
know,
kind of like it's like for me, if I decide to go out on Sunday and go play some weekend football, I'm gonna probably pull something because I'm not doing it every day. And to your point, Roz, the hitting, yeah, we used to probably do too much hitting, and I probably had too many concussions and stuff out there. But there's only one way to get ready for football, and that's by actually playing football. And to go 50% all week long, and then Sunday you're going 100%. No, man, I just don't see how they can do it. But it's a different world.
See, that's where exactly what Thomas was talking about with these small guys. He's not wrong. The difference is understanding the conditioning. And in the weight room, you have two types of people. Actually, you have three. You have toning.
Mm-hmm.
You have strengthening and conditioning.
Mm-hmm. And you have bulking.
And then the third type is bulk, right?
yes.
So that's where your discussion, Mark, about the frame comes into play.
Mm-hmm.
How much can you put on your frame? And that's actually something we scout when we look at rookies.
Yeah.
Have they filled out their frame, or can they add more? But I agree with Thomas that they're smaller because they're toning and they're going for the speed. And that's why when you get a guy like Travion Walker, or not, Jordan Davis, Trayvon Walker, when you get these 300 pounds dude acting like, what they did at the combine, all of a sudden that's a shocker. And it's like, is it really a shocker? Because all it is that they're big, doing what everybody's doing.
Yeah, they're just bigger, and when they hit you like a freight train. But see, I'm talking about guys like Calais Campbell, 6'8" and about 320, 325.
I ain't talking about them. You can exclude them, Mark.
Yeah.
We already know these dudes is bigger than your average bedroom door.
And
you got to separate guys in the last probably 4 years, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Because we do go in cycle. That's something else. If anybody watches college or anybody follows Devy fantasy or rookies, we go in cycles. That's why we see a class of quarterbacks come out. We see a class of running backs, things like that. Same thing with defense. Same thing with offensive linemen. So every 4 years, you have to reassess that group of players.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't compare Orlando Brown to Tyler Smith.
Yeah,
right?
true.
They're different sets. They're different eras. And as every 4 years, as we move forward, we're going to have different exercise, different teams.
Right. And things will also change focus. Things will also change focus as well, because when you think about when the Cowboys started, they got Zeke Elliott, and before that when we had God, I can't think of his name, running the football and getting big offensive linemen. For a while there, the offensive linemen were more zone blocking, and they were quicker, smaller guys. The Cowboys kind of went back to, we're going to ground and pound, and ended up having road graders. And because the offensive lines had gotten smaller and quicker, your defensive lines kind of went in that same direction. But I think you're seeing actually another evolution, because the emphasis was on actually illegal contact and stuff. Having that pass rush, having those bigger guys that can actually get pressure on the quarterback is the new way to get past all the illegal contact. If I can get to the quarterback in 2 seconds, there's not enough time for an illegal contact. And that's how you shut it down. Because if it ends up being that a quarterback has 4 seconds, 5 seconds, he's going to beat you. Somebody's going to either have an illegal contact, a pass interference, or the wide receiver's going to be wide open. They're going to pick you apart. So that's the new evolution I think that we're going to see. We're going to see, again, a lot of bigger defensive linemen again to kind of counteract it. But who knows what'll happen. The thing on Tony Pollard is on the plane. Don't know if he has the barf bag. Don't know if he's in a seat by himself, but he is on the plane with the food poisoning.
Mark, I hate's a strong word. I'm not a big fan of using hate, but the New England Patriots,
Mm-hmm.
as long as Belichick is there, they will continue to evolve.
Yes,
That
you
doesn't
have
mean
to.
they'll always be successful,
Mm-hmm.
but the evolution is what I monitor,
Mm-hmm.
because what you're seeing with Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson is exactly what you're talking about, is the shift back to the larger guys.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you've got 5 guys that can move 3 guys on the other side
Right.
5 yards down the field, you're not worried about anything because the little guys can't stop them.
Yeah.
And then you get a big guy like Ramondre coming in,
Mm-hmm.
right? This is why Jalen Warren in Pittsburgh, Ramondre, A.J. Dillon in Green Bay, these big boys, this is why they're coming in,
Mm-hmm.
because there's a shift.
Yeah. But
So that's the constant rotation.
But here's the thing, though. It's not just about being big, because you can have big blobs, but you've got to be you've got to be able to move. And see, this is why, and this is the thing that's kind of crazy. Now, okay, so Diggs, Pro Football Focus came out today, and they said that Diggs, as far as pass defense, says he's tied for first. As far as interceptions, he's tied for first, and quarterbacks are only having a 44% rating against him on single coverage. Diggs? Trayvon Diggs, Cowboys cornerback.
You talking about his
right?
grade
Yeah,
number and all
Dallas.
of that?
I'm sorry, he's on Dallas, right?
Yeah. Okay. So is what do you mean? What's that for? Okay. No. But here's the thing. You can look at that and say he's having a great season, but it's not just because he's doing really good. He's doing really good because your team is putting a lot of pressures on the quarterback, and the quarterback doesn't have a lot of time. If you only have to hold up for 2.5 seconds, that's a big difference than if you have to hold up for 5 seconds. So with Micah Parsons and crew putting pressure on and getting sacks, it makes the back end a lot easier to defend. Right or wrong?
And that, to answer one of your people, I think it might have been Marcus, that is why Jaron Kearse is probably your best bet of getting him on the field the same time as Donovan Wilson,
Mm-hmm.
so they can both play with the hooker.
Well, yeah, that I knew it was
on
coming.
Your back end.
I knew. Good thing we don't have Xavier Wood anymore. Because you have the hooker, the Wood. Okay, all right, smart ass. But the thing is, in the past, we've always had good edge rushers. But the problem is edge rushers, if you can't follow it up with the defensive front that can keep the quarterback from stepping up, you get washed past, quarterback steps up, I got a clear view, I can run, and, I've got more time. But the Cowboys have big guys that are in the middle that are able to push that pocket, and that's making it more effective. And see, the thing people don't seem to understand is one piece helps another piece. If you're lacking in an area, it's going to hurt the other areas. Like right now, I look at it and say, I know exactly where Aaron Donald's going to be lining up over the left guard probably more times than not. That's going to be the weak spot with Connor McGovern.
Yep.
And that's where you're going to go through. He's just right through him to get to the quarterback. Am I wrong, Roz?
You're right.
They're going to look for the weakest link.
Yeah, you got to put your best D lineman on the opposing team's weakest link.
Alicia Morgan, what's up? So I mean, and that's where some idiot was out there was basically saying, well, Micah Parsons, the last couple of games, he hasn't done anything. I'm not sure he's even a top 5, defensive player. And it's like, and we might see numbers that when you look out on the surface that aren't great because he's getting triple team. But if he's getting triple team, the fact that D-Law's got 3 sacks right now,
There's evidence that you can tell that
He's
they're
had some seasons where he's
interpreting.
only had 3.5 sacks. And the main reason is because they're saying we got to
Parsons
get
out
that
there.
guy. We'll take our chances on the other ones.
And Mark, we may not know. We may relive last year because if you remember, everybody was worried about how. Sorry about that. Everybody was worried about how Terrence Steele was going to fight against the Bosa boy from Los Angeles, and he had a career game against him
Right.
last year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say? Who's to say if McGovern is going to suck against Aaron Donald tomorrow?
Well, okay. True.
We may have a repeat from what Terrence Steele did last year.
No, that's very true. That is
That's a
very
good
true.
point.
I hope that's the case. But
I remember talking about that when you talked about it. You guys talked about it last year.
well, maybe he steps up into the breach there. What's the prospects for Miami there, Brother Roz, without Tua? I see the NFL basically is saying that Miami and the independent people basically followed the letters of the concussion protocol, but that the protocol needs to change.
They've actually they've sent out the conclusion and the findings and conclusion, as well as changed the process has been officially changed at this point.
Right.
Look, everybody want to roll with a concussion on Sunday against the Bills. Whatever. At this point, whatever. I'm done arguing with people about it. It could have been, it may not have been, but
It was.
gross motor instability was very evident, and that is the key. Same thing with Nyheim Hines on Thursday night.
Yeah.
Once you lose that capability with your legs, even if it is your back,
You
that's
should be in
bad
there.
juju.
Right.
But as far as winning, come on, man. We're top 5 in the NFL in offense.
So you got no worry about Teddy Bridgewater.
Look, besides the fact that Teddy Bridgewater can barely launch the ball as far as Tua. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. Teddy Bridgewater can throw the ball the same distance as Tua. He just doesn't like to. He's scared to. He still doesn't have the confidence to go deep down the field. Besides that, he's perfectly fine. He is a capable, quality NFL quarterback. I would take him over Daniel Jones.
Oh, well, shoot. I take my pinky toe over Daniel Jones.
I mean, I would take him over, I don't know, Russell Wilson.
Ooh,
Notice he hasn't said
Russell
Rush yet.
Wilson. Yeah, what happened?
Everybody wants to talk about Russell Wilson had better weapons with Lockett and Metcalf in Seattle. But then everybody wanted to trash Rashad Penny, who ran behind the 6th worst offensive line last year. Or excuse me, ran 6 games behind the worst offensive line at the end of last year. Now Rashad Penny's doing fine. Geno Smith's doing fine with those 2 receivers. But Denver was winning games with Cortland Sutton, Javonte, Melvin Gordon, and Jerry Jeudy.
And Drew Lock.
Now they're losing with Russell. Like, you do the math, and
Some
Russell
don't add up to that picture.
Richie MC said Daniel Jones is going to upset Aaron Rodgers.
No. Sorry.
Nah,
Brother Ross being an owner of the Green Bay Packers.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going across the pond to lose against Daniel Jones.
Sorry, I had to mute my hysterical laughing.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going across the pond to
lose that game
against Daniel Jones.
No.
Look. Here's the only thing I'll ask you. Daniel Jones upsetting Aaron Rodgers. Daniel Jones has to see Quay Walker, Devondre Campbell. Okay, he's got to see Rashawn Gary, He's got to see Jair Alexander.
Mhm.
Wow, I can't believe I stuttered on that dude's name. Adrian Amos, Savage, Russell Savage. I mean, Daniel Jones is going to be running for his life.
He's always running for his life. What else is new?
I know everything.
Okay, so what's going to be different? Upset Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers only upset when he ain't got his medication.
Ooh, his mushrooms, you mean?
Yeah.
And don't forget about his scotch too, cause he loved to drink scotch.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's the reason why. That's the reason why he look. That's the reason why he look like he drunk all the time.
Drunk, high, something, and that hairdo he's got some crazy shit. Now, not that I have room to talk about hairdos, because this shit I don't know what to do with, man. After all these years.
Hey, by the way, I liked your one video. We could do the kid and play.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's a little product in there. I can get to the fat top. Gina Thorne, what's up, Gina? How you doing? Lola with the magic mushrooms there. Yeah, it's been a strange day all the way around here. And tomorrow morning to start live streaming at 9:30. Jeez. And I'm like, I got to cook food and get it ready for people. Nobody's going to be here at 9:30 but me. And then the Washington Commanders, the Tennessee game. What do you, Raj, I know you looked at the Cardinals and said they've got no chance in hell in that game, right?
Everybody's got a chance, but the Cardinals.
Everybody but
Hi,
the Cardinals.
Mark.
Hey, what's up, Stacy? How are you doing? Welcome to the chat. There we go, Stacy.
Hi, how's everyone doing?
Good. How you doing?
I am doing fantastic. And Stacy, actually, I want to. I watched a video yesterday about Stanton, Virginia. A place I want to tell you about.
Yes, sir.
But I'll talk to you on the side. But you know, it was a black community right after the Civil War, and what's happened? It's called Uniontown. It's actually still existing. There's only about 10 families and stuff that are actually still there and stuff. But it's kind of crazy when you hear the whole story of it and stuff. It's just like
right.
But I'll catch you on that. Blue York Sports. What's going on? How you doing today, man? All right, so come tomorrow. Basically, what you're saying is, Roz, Washington Commanders are going to lose to the Titans. The Giants are going to lose to Green Bay. The Eagles are going to win against the Cardinals, and the Cowboys are going to win against the Rams. So we're saying that it's going to be the Cowboys versus the Eagles for this division, and the other two are ass. Anybody else agree with that?
Look, all I'm going to say before everybody else gets a chance to chime in is the only one I'm concerned with is the Cowboys. And look, Mark, it has nothing to do with the team as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
It just has to do with riding the rush. Like at some point, if he's brought out of a comfort zone, remember I told you where the difference between him and Dak is being able to play outside the structure of the play.
Right.
If the Rams push him out of that this weekend, that would be my only concern. But yes, everybody else, like you said, losses and wins.
Okay. Well, see, I look at it like this. The Cowboys, we're still playing with house money. I think that Dak Prescott, because thinking about this thumb is, I know Russell Wilson had this issue. I think Matt Castle had this issues and other guys. And ain't nobody coming back on this thing in like 4 to 6 weeks. It's usually a little longer than that. And, you know, if we get out here, I think about last year how Dak was an MVP candidate, and then he had the calf injury, and I think he missed just one game and came back. You know, you wonder how bad was that calf, because a lot of times it was looking, when he was throwing, you could see that he was getting up off of that foot and getting in the air throwing the football and wasn't having the same mechanics. I think that they need to make sure, because I know the Dak Prescott haters out there are trying to say that I'm trying to get rid of Cooper Rush and everything else. I actually have, let me see, can I? Boom. Let me change camera angles here. One of the pieces we're going to be giving away tomorrow, oh, I need to move you guys out the way, don't I? Is this piece down here. It's Cooper Rush. I did a Cooper Rush artwork. Thank God we got Cooper Rush. Right now, we got 2 quarterbacks better than Washington. How about that? We got 2 quarterbacks better than the Giants. The fact that Cooper
Mark,
Rush.
I wanted to
What?
give you a piece of news just came across.
Uh-oh. What news?
Ian Rappaport.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Well, no, this was actually a discussion one of my news feeds we've been talking about. So the firing of the doctor in the Tua issue, NFL executive Jeff Miller actually said we shouldn't have done that. I never supported terminating him because the review hadn't been completed.
Okay.
So now basically what they're saying is, oops, they shouldn't have fired him because he followed the letter
of the rules, even though the rules were wrong. And maybe he.
Yes, the rules are wrong, not the person.
It's all saving face. That's all. They didn't care.
Yeah, and they don't. They don't.
Yeah, they was technically they was really covering their asses. That's what they were doing.
That's
well,
what the
everybody's
NFL...
trying to cover your butt when Buffalo's Super Bowl favorite and Miami goes in and stomps you. We don't run any quarterback.
You're feisty today, Ross. You are feisty.
Mark.
Yeah.
Before I had to step out for a second, I noticed that you all was talking about the game tomorrow between Arizona and Philadelphia. And y'all was talking about Philly may win the game tomorrow. That game is gonna be close. It is. That game is gonna be close. That game is gonna be close because this game tomorrow is gonna be Philly's first test. Because Philly they really haven't been playing nobody.
Oh, I agree, but I'm not sure that the Cardinals are somebody yet.
And and it wouldn't surprise me if the Cardinals win tomorrow. It really would.
Yeah. I got Cardinals winning.
Because the Cardinals, they're one of your pesky teams in the NFL. They're one of those type of teams that they could play against for an example, they can play against a team like New England and beat them.
All right.
Surprisingly beat them. That's just how pesky they are.
Well,
but you're not
believe me,
see Arizona go and beat Buffalo.
I don't care about, I don't care about that. That's AFC. I want the
I
Eagles to
understand
lose.
that, but Buffalo right now is playing outside of the Miami game.
But you had Indianapolis beat Colts or the Kansas City.
Right, and I understand that anything can happen on any given Sunday. What I'm saying is if you were placing a single bet, Philly is playing the level that Buffalo is playing, and Arizona ain't playing anywhere near that.
Maybe it's time for them to turn it around. I mean, I remember one year they started out
back for 2 more weeks.
Yeah, but maybe somebody else steps into the breach. No? Okay.
Well,
I hear you,
Greg
Ross.
Dortch stepped in when A.J. Green couldn't do it. Greg Dortch has been playing well, but he's another guy bounced around the league. Besides that, Marquise Brown is your entire offense. Even James Conner is starting to get banged up a little bit. Benjamin's been sufficient, but neither one of them has even been Zeke.
Okay.
So again, we're talking about levels of production and capability. If your capability is this high and your production is constantly below, at some point you have to say, okay, your production range of outcomes is really not that high. Right now, Arizona, we overestimated what they were, whereas what they've shown us 4 weeks in a row has been pretty much the same. And it's not to the level that we've seen out of some of these other teams.
Shout out to MB. It's funny how many times Ramsey gets burned and he cries and flops, but Diggs gets all the hate. Would anybody agree with that?
Diggs does get a lot of hate.
Oh
I
my
agree on
God.
that, but I
I
think he
agree.
caused it on himself though.
I agree.
Too much.
You know, I agree. I agree with that because, Diggs, if he was to do something crazy, it would be the bank would be
Oh,
pointed
look
at
at Diggs.
him.
Yeah.
The bank would be
Horrible.
pointed at him. But if Ramsey do something, it's almost as if they're enabling and babying him.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have that Dallas Cowboys name in front of his name.
That's
Yeah.
what it is. He's not wearing. He's not wearing the star.
He's not
on
wearing the
his
star.
Well, I feel like,
peanut butter jelly.
Oh man.
you know what, I feel
Yeah,
like
but
what he
that
did
was,
after last season of being trashed was basically like, hold my beer. I'm going to show you guys, because that's a guy who's got a chip on his shoulder.
Mark,
Overall, the Seattle defense has had a lot of rough spots this year with new players in there and such.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Quandre Diggs is doing the best he can.
Smart ass. Ah.
Mark, if Ramsey was wearing the star on his helmet, he would be public enemy number one. You hear me?
Oh, he would.
Oh, with all that
and
shit
this-
talking he talks? Oh, man.
And this is dating back to when he played at Jacksonville when he was hated by the world.
Mm-hmm.
This is dating back at Jacksonville when he was fighting with coaches on the sideline,
Mm-hmm.
fighting with fans, and fighting with his own teammates.
Yeah. Interesting. Of course, if it's a cap, and this is where this game is a no-win situation, right? Right? We win. It was just you just beat a bad team. It was crazy because I watched ESPN this morning, and I used it in my morning video, and they literally went through and they had the Bengals at 10. Yeah, I think 10, and they said, well, the Cowboys, they're not in the top 10 because they haven't beaten anybody. And I was like, didn't they beat the Bengals? If the Bengals had beat the Cowboys, they would have said that was a Super Bowl favorite. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm. I was talking to somebody and they said that the Bengals, just because they were in the Super Bowl, doesn't mean they still like that. It's like, what? That's not the point. You know what I mean? Like, if it was the other way around, you'd be talking about it.
Diggs can give up 1,000 yards and no TDs, but the media will say he's no good. Yeah.
All I got to say about all of this is, if we beat the Rams tomorrow, which we should, I'm not saying that we are. If we beat the Rams tomorrow, I don't want to hear no junk from these damn talking heads. I don't want to hear nothing from these three or four letter networks. We beat the two participants in the Super Bowl.
I got to help y'all out here, Mark.
Go ahead. Help me out.
Go ahead.
All right. So first thing that I want to address is Jim Irsay even came out and said, "Look, it doesn't matter if it's an ugly win or not; it's a W."
Mm-hmm.
It's a W. Beat the Denver. They don't. It doesn't matter how they beat them or why.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
I agree. A win is a win.
Right. So that's number one.
Unless you're a Cowboy, of course, then it's not good enough.
Number two is referencing people like Adam Rank and ESPN and stuff like that. Y'all just asking for pain because their job is to hype train crap 24/7. I mean, like I spend a certain amount of time maybe once a week watching NFL Network for data.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about their opinions. They just talking in the background.
But there's a method to my madness on that though. There's a reason why
you're heartburning yourself.
No, actually it does. No, it actually does me good. Because you get people, okay, Rashid, you still get Rashid quoting ESPN stuff, Dak Prescott is Mr. Garbage Time. He's still dinking and dunking.
Isn't that a Giants fan?
Yeah, he's a Giants fan. But what I'm trying to educate people to understand. See, you have to, Roz, I'm old, okay? I am so old that, there was no cable TV, 24-hour news feed. The only thing you got sports wise besides, 5 minutes on the local news at, 6 and 11 was on Sunday nights was George Michael's Sports Machine on NBC for 30 minutes. 30 minutes long. You actually saw highlights from around sports. And that was only on Sunday night. Then all of a sudden.
Point number 3, though.
Say what?
I'll give you point number 3. I only gave you 2.
Okay.
Point number 3 is those folks are handed, because I even have a show sheet, a copy of one I got sent to me. They're given a show sheet with these stats. And you and I talked about extrapolating.
Yeah.
And remember the Charlie Brown womp womp?
Yeah.
That's because the numbers can be used anyway. It doesn't mean it's right.
Oh, it was kind of like with with Dak Prescott hasn't beaten teams with winning records or playoff teams.
It's like Cooper Rush is undefeated. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. And that's what, and see, the thing is people listen to that who don't dig into the nuances of it, and they believe that. And that's why I go through and say, here's what the preseason forecast was said. Here's what they predicted. And it's almost crazy because if you looked at the preseason poll, basically they took every team that was a playoff team last year and they said, okay, the Rams, best team in football, of course. The Bengals, they're going to be great. Tampa Bay and Tom Brady. And they go down the line, and it's like, you and I know that half of those teams will be garbage the next year. That's the way it always is. There's always so much turnover between having to pick late in the draft, and this is where I look at the Rams and say, the Rams are playing until the middle of February. That's 5 weeks less time to get ready to play, next year to recover and get surgery and so on and let your body heal. What?
When does Dallas play this week?
4:00 or 4:25, same time as the Eagles.
All right. So there's less games on.
Mm-hmm.
Steel sharpens steel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we're not Terrence Steele, but I would not be shocked if your boys step up because they don't want to be embarrassed, and they know that they're facing the best defensive interior lineman.
Yeah.
In the game.
Yeah, but you know what? I actually love the fact that normally the Cowboys get on the hype train where everybody, your Super Bowl. I always felt like with Jalen Smith that he was like Mr. Hollywood, and he fell into we're the Cowboys and all we got to do is show up. And they didn't seem to be hungry. You know what I mean? I always looked at the Cowboys as the rich kids that had everything. And here it is. I'm one of the broke-ass kids that, my bicycle, has got flat tires and I don't have a bicycle seat. So I have to actually stand up when I'm riding my bike. And I'm pissed off that he's got like 2 or 3 brand new ones, with a different color for every day of the week, And that's where you want to go through and bitch slap them and take what they have. You know what I mean? And, you had this arrogance where sometimes the players can hear so much hype about how good you are, you start to believe that shit. I'm hoping that's what happens to the Eagles, that they start believing the hype that we are that great. And that's when all of a sudden, when you get punched in the mouth, you don't know how to react. Got to stay hungry. I hope they keep dissing my Cowboys.
See, and that's the one thing I try to tell all these Cowboy fans. They're seeing and listening to all of this Eagle hype. And I tell them, I'd be like, hey, look at the history, because the history show, and this go back to the 90s, Mark, and you probably know this better than anybody. It goes back to the 90s. Philadelphia have always been known to start off with fast start. They start fast, and somewhere in between the middle part of the year and late part of the year, they disappear.
Yeah. Well, that's where their schedule gets a little bit hard. And although it's not that hard at all, to be quite honestly. But, for me, I look at it like this. We've got, 2 of our toughest games in the next 2 weeks, the Rams and then the Eagles, and then we have the Lions, the Bears, and then we got Green Bay. And after that, we got Vikings and then the Giants. If the next 6 games, if the Cowboys just go 3-3, 6-4 at that point, we're still in great shape. You know what I'm saying? Now, ideally, if we've got to lose one of the big games, I would rather it not be the Eagles, because that's where you worry about the Eagles being able to just kind of go right on through. If they get that game right there on us, then at worst case, we'll be tied as far as, the division goes. That to me is the more important game than the Rams game right now. Ain't nobody saying nothing. But after the Packers, we got Minnesota. We got the Giants.
Mark,
yeah.
I was checking the history of the Eagles for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
The last time that they had a winning record going into November.
Was Super Bowl year?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can tell you.
They were playing a 4th-place schedule, too.
Right, and y'all don't exactly have a tough NFC East schedule.
Oh, our schedule, again, okay, so as I was saying, we have the Colts who, they got 2 big wins, but I'm not sure the Colts are really a good team. We got the Texans, the Jaguars, the Eagles, the Titans, and the Commanders after that. That's what I'm saying. If we were 6-4, right there, fuck, with the last 7 games, between having the Giants, the Colts, the Texans, the Jaguars, the Eagles, Titans, and Commanders, the Eagles will be rough, of course. The Titans, maybe. I don't know. I still don't know what kind of team the Titans are, but they don't seem to be that good right now. Maybe the Jaguars aren't a bad team. I know they're 500, but who knows, And again, we still don't really know what teams are just yet, because we're still just coming off of the beginning of the season, preseason, I like to call it.
Well, we kind of know where they are, but the Titans you should be able to handle defensively. Treylon Burks just went on IR, and pretty much Robert Woods is their air offense. Jacksonville, I'd be more worried about, because they're playing. Jacksonville is playing for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're playing like Detroit. They're just going to be in the game the whole time, whether they're supposed to be or not.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference with that, Brother Ross, is Jacksonville is doing something that Detroit is not doing. They're finishing. Detroit is not.
Okay, well, Detroit's getting behind early. That's what and some of that was garbage time. I hate to admit that, Roz.
Well, a lot of it is garbage time. But one reason, too, Thomas, that you're right, Jacksonville is finishing, is because what Jacksonville has that Detroit does not, is they have a second level.
Yeah.
Detroit has that first level of defense, and they have that third level of defense. Their linebackers
are ass.
Pick a name, and they'd be sitting on the bench on any other team.
You know what's funny to me? This is so fun.
I can't, Brother Ross. I can't. You got me.
This is funny to me, because last year you would hear, whenever the Cowboys are doing good, there's always a reason that doesn't matter that they're winning. So last year it was the Cowboys were winning, and it was because they were getting so many takeaways. If you take away the takeaways, they're not winning games. So the Eagles win 28-21, and they keep saying that the Eagles are blowing everybody out. They get 5 takeaways. Do you think they win if they don't get those 5 takeaways? Weren't 2 of those in the red zone for Jacksonville? Right?
Yep.
And so, they don't get those takeaways, they don't win that game.
No, and you take away that pick six against Detroit, they don't get that win.
Right. So, but I ain't heard anybody say if the Eagles weren't getting those takeaways, they're not winning those games. I just keep hearing about how they're blowing people out.
If you really think about it, Philadelphia should be they should be 500 right now. They should be 2-2.
Mm-hmm. Or they
should
could
be
have
2
been.
right now.
Yeah. But Bill Parcells
Anyway,
says,
the ball bounces.
"Oh, not the angry cat now.
Well,
Not
I got to
the
step away for just a minute. Go
okay.
Take my meds.
All right. Well, we're not going to be on here too much longer because
I got to do this.
no, because my family's going to take me out to dinner for my birthday early because they say you're going to be, you need to go to bed early tonight because it's like you got a long day tomorrow, and then Monday night is Monday Night Football. I don't even know who plays Monday night. She said you got your live stream, so we're going out to dinner tonight. So we're actually going to kill the stream early tonight, and I'm going to go eat dinner with the family.
And Mark, I was talking with Law Nation on the phone earlier this week, and I told him what you've been telling us about Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
I told him, I said, Law, look, check out the stats of Philadelphia. Philadelphia, if they think that they can go all year long doing
wire to wire,
doing what they've been doing all along, they're not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You are not going to win a Super Bowl and can't score in the second half. No, that ain't gonna happen.
You're right about that.
That ain't gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
If you think you're gonna get by doing that, you ain't gonna make it.
You are 100% right on that one. But, it's a long season. This is just the first quarter. We've seen, we the way we were playing the first half of the season, we were playing like gangbusters, and we had a few injuries, and things kind of went downhill a bit. I mean, we still ended up 12-5, but we weren't the same team that finished the season that started the season. But
and then that come back to me thinking about what you've been talking about all along.
Mm-hmm. Terry Lee.
Because you see, in order to perform well in the second half,
mm-hmm.
come back to me saying that C word. Are you conditioned?
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else about the Eagles. Okay, when you said the C word. Okay.
If you remember,
shout out to Terry Lee for the super chat.
Back in training camp, if you remember,
mm-hmm.
they had to cancel a couple of their training camps because somebody was kind of out of shape. I don't want to go into detail about, but you know what I'm talking about, Mark.
Yeah. Well, I honestly feel like this team is actually in really good shape. In condition, looking at the Eagles and some of the preseason games and stuff, and that may be the reason why they're not doing as well in the second half, is it could be conditioning for them.
Right.
That they're getting tired of the second half. Our defense, Andre Grant, shout out to you. Thank you for the birthday wishes. That might be the issue for them, is that they're not in as conditioned as shape. And that could be the advantage for the Cowboys, having the rotation that we have on defensive line. And, as we hopefully get through the little nagging injuries that we have and eventually get Jason Peters out there, and maybe at some point Tyron Smith is going to be back. He's already begun to work on the bands and things, that we have enough players that will be able to be well-conditioned and be in good shape the second half of the season.
Happy birthday, Mark.
That would be great. What's up, man?
Going
What's
good,
up,
Mark.
Mike?
What's up, Thomas?
I can't call it, brother. I'm just waiting for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Me too. Had to work earlier today.
It's not far away, man. About 15 hours from now, we'll be watching football. Or we'll be we'll be watching the Giants. I don't know if that's football or not.
Hey.
At least the Green Bay Packers will watch
Green Bay.
Okay. We'll be watching that biatch, Aaron Rodgers.
Don't matter how you like him as a person, you can't deny what he did Sean on the field. Oh, wait. No, that's Cleveland.
Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate that. I
But
can't
here's the
wait.
thing about
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers, though. Everyone says, "Oh, Aaron Rodgers could win with less." Why hasn't he won another Super Bowl with less? Then what's
Yeah.
the excuse for that for him?
Anthony, shout out to Anthony. Thank
Superbowl's a
you.
bad-
Been a fan since 2016. You're one of the originals. Thank you, Andy.
You see what you've done, Mark?
What's
you
that?
see what you've done on this channel? Look, I'm trying to help y'all, and I'm trying to hang out, but you have set the bar at Super Bowl.
Who? I didn't say anything about Super Bowl.
I mean, if you ain't winning Super Bowls, you just suck.
Well, that's what they always say about the Cowboys. That us winning, in our division and stuff, that doesn't mean anything.
But
well, that's why you
every
don't
team trying to go to
listen
Super
to those people.
You mean like all the trolls that come up in here? Hey, I'm sorry, David. David, my mom never watches. Okay, so Darlene Masher, this is David, not Darlene. My mom never watches for football, and happy birthday. Thank you. I'm sorry, it said Darlene. I didn't know it was you, David, but I appreciate that. Bird Gang Sport, he said he won't win anything because we are winning now. Man, he's confusing. No, but typically you may be blowing your wad early there, Eric. I'm sorry, Bird Gang. You could be blowing your wad early.
I don't think the Eagles' defense is actually that good because they're giving up a lot of points.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like if your defense is giving up a lot of points, eventually someone's gonna blow that Eagles defense out.
Yeah,
like
that's
pick
true.
them apart, literally.
Dallas was with them.
I hope so. It'd be nice to get that win for my birthday. That'd be a great birthday present from the Cowboys. Appreciate that, Cowboys. Okay.
And then I'll be 5-0 in fantasy football after I beat Rock over there.
Hell
Knock you down.
no. Hell no.
All right. Well,
But
I am going to. I need to go get cleaned up because I've been working in the shop and running around like a wild man and stuff. But we will start broadcasting at 9:30 tomorrow. I'll let you guys have the final words. Anything you guys want to add before we get out of here?
Yes.
Yeah, final score 28-14.
Dallas.
Dallas 28, yeah.
Okay.
It's
Thomas.
actually close to mine.
Brock, you think we're gonna blow them out?
No, I think 27-13, but that was a close that he said.
Okay.
Oh,
Thomas.
So I was like, yeah, it's close.
Yes.
I'm gonna say tomorrow Micah Parsons is gonna get 3 sacks on Matthew Stafford.
I'd love that.
ooh.
See that?
Well, I'm not gonna make no personal predictions. I've made predictions and they went south on me. But tomorrow we cannot let the Rams get off because
Mm-hmm.
we all know that they're gonna try to run the ball on us. Y'all know this. I
True.
think we're gonna win the game. I think the final score is gonna be 24-13.
Mhm.
And we win this game tomorrow. Let's get ready for Philadelphia next Sunday night. That's all I got to say.
Shout out to Gina Thorne and Blue York Sports. Every day is a gift, and every year is a blessing. Peach Mark Holmes, happy birthday! Thank you very much. All right.
Mark,
Yeah.
I just wanted to close. I put a message in the chat, but I just wanted to say, happy birthday. Hopefully for your birthday, we get that home win at SoFi.
Hold on. Did you just say we? You just said we.
It's recorded. It's on there. It's set.
Ross, you just said we.
You said "re," brother Roz. I heard it too.
Welcome to the dark side.
Yo, I heard
Oh, Ross.
it. I heard it.
Look, he put the angry cat up. He doesn't know what to say.
You secretly
Freudian slip.
He said
I
"re."
can't believe
heard
the
it too.
word is out.
It's after Tyreek killed.
I also
Ooh.
did
Y'all shaking
say,
his head. He's like, "Whoops."
just for the record,
Uh-huh.
video won't work for you, Mark, but just for the record, I did say that home SoFi win.
But you also did say we should.
He
get
said,
that
yeah,
home.
we should get that home SoFi win.
Right, but SoFi is home to who?
To home for us Dallas.
It's home for the Cowboys.
That go over there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
us Cowboys fans from California,
Well,
we'll turn out
Mm-hmm.
like
how
crazy.
many jerseys are over there tomorrow
And
compared to the Rams jersey? Let's say. And then let's say who's home.
Well, then I
SoFi,
guess
baby.
we'll
I
see
can
who the
say
we
that
really is.
Look, I love this.
Even Jerry Jones.
Oh,
I can say,
Lexington,
Mark,
Matthew
that
Stafford
I
will have
got
the post-traumatic stack disorder when we get through with them.
I say if the 49ers did what they did last week to Stafford, I think the Dallas Cowboys defense should do it exactly the same. Or even better.
It's
Mark,
possible.
I can say that I had the opportunity to see both of our homes,
Mhm.
AT&T and SoFi,
Mm-hmm.
because I saw SoFi 3 months ago. But happy birthday, enjoy your blessing.
Mm-hmm.
I pray and hope that we win tomorrow and we win next Sunday night, because I know the game next Sunday night is your birthday present.
All right. Sounds like a winner to me.
Tomorrow, I already know we're gonna win this one. But Sunday night,
Yeah, this is your birthday Eve present.
Right.
The free.
and
Mm-hmm.
with the game next Sunday night against our bitter rival, that's your birthday present right there.
All right. That sounds like a winner. Okay, good people. We are going to roll on out of here. I appreciate everybody here. The super chats will be added for tomorrow with the ones from last night, and we'll be giving away, of course. I got another big butcher block that we're giving away. We're going to be giving away Cooper Rush, who's down front over there, as well as some other cool stuff. If you are a tailgate member, we've got a lot of the gold Jobardies went out yesterday. Check your email. You should be getting a note from stamps.com, which will have a tracking number on it. We're working on getting the rest of those out over this weekend. That's where I need to go put some more paint on some more of them. And, well, Brock, you got a big package coming to you, dog.
Hey, hey Mark. Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Don't forget to send me the gold Jobardi to my new address and not to the old one.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Did you change it on Thrive? Did you send Tracy an email?
Oh yeah, I sent it like earlier this year.
Uh-oh. Email me with your new address so that way I make sure, because I hope it's not already gone out with the old one.
Yeah, I'll email you my
Okay.
my address, Mark.
All right. Okay, good people.